Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about The Goddess, a silence film from 1934 directed by Wu Yonggang. Ever so this film is nearly a century old. Today I'm going to talk about The Goddess, a silence film from 1934 directed by Wu Yonggang. Ever so this film is nearly a century old. It still feels powerful and relevant today. It tells the story of the single mother trying to survive in a harsh and judgmental society. The film was made during the Republican era, wait, era in China, a time of big social and political change. The government had started a new life movement, which promoted traditional Confucian values like this discipline and strict moral behavior, especially for women. The expectations were very high and very unfair. Cinema during this time became the way to reflect society's struggles. The Goddess is not just a story, it also a message about how women lives were shaped by politics and patriarchy and moral rules. That was we exploring today. Let's start with some main characters here. Each of them represents something bigger than just themselves. First one, we have the mother, also known as the goddess. She doesn't even have a name in film, which already tells us something. She works as a sex worker, but not because she's want to. She does it to take care of her young son. She both judged by society and praised as a mother, a painful contradiction. And then there's her child. It represents innocent, loving, and full of hope. He represents the future she wants. She mothers want a better life and escape from shame, but even he is punished for her choice. The third character is Gambler. Is a terrible man who used violence to control the mothers and take advantage for her. Uh, he just he not just one bad person. He symbolized how patriarchy and poverty trap women. And finally, is the school principal, which is a headmaster. He is one of the few people who seen the mother struggle and res respond with the compassions. In the world full of judgment, like he represent the understanding and integrity. Okay, let's go over some the main characters deep dive. The mothers. The mothers live with a painful double life. By day, she is a gentle, loving mother. At night, she walks the street selling her bodies. What important is that her choice comes from love. She not she's not immoral. Like she desperate, but society doesn't see her love. They only see her job and they call her shameful. When others' parents at school find out what she does, like they demand her child be expelled. This is a moment that shows how society hurts not only women but also innocent children. Luckily, the headmaster tries to help her. He doesn't judge her right way. She listens and heard about her thought. This gives us a short moment of hope. The mother represents the emotional burdens many women carry, work hard, staying invisible, and being expected to suffer without help. She is a symbol of strength and society failure. Another big theme in this film is surveillance, the feeling of always being watched. The first time we see the mothers, she's walking the street at night, men look at her with like desert and judgment. Like she kept her head down. The way the cinema follows her is almost like like the audience are are also part of the people watching her. At home, she's different. She's soft, warm, loving, and she sings to her son. She smiles. But even in this safe space, she has to hide who she is. The contrast is powerful. Like at the street, it was a place of exposure, shame, and dangers. The home is place of love, digital dignity, and quiet resistance. Like the film show us that society and even the camera often seen only the surface. No one look deeper. No one trust understands. Okay. Now let's talk about the 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 school principal. Yeah, like he represent moral clearly with the judgmental society. First encounter, he learns the boy's mother is a sex worker. Then he reacts quiet and thoughtful, not immediately commenting. Like he's represent the real man empathy and educational integrity. Mm, like when he finds out about mother's job, his reaction is unusual. Like he doesn't yell or judge. He stay quiet, calm, and thoughtful. He see her not just as a fallen woman, but as a mother doing her best to take care of her child. One of the most touching moments is when he promised to take care of her son if something happened to her. He knows how hard her life is, and he wants to help in the only way he can. His appearance in this film is also symbolic. He often stands right, look direct at the others, and speak clearly. This shows his moral strength, not power through violence, but through empathy. In contrast to Gambler, the the headmaster is what we might call like progressive, like kind, just like an human. Okay. Let's go to the gambler initial sense, force himself into the mother's home and life, control her earnings through like threat and violence, treat her not as a person, like as a property. The symbol presents always for friend in shadows, in corners and tight space, symbolize like the danger and oppressions. Like um, from the start, he forced his way into the mother's life, and he take over her money, beat her, and like ruin any hope she has of the escaping poverty. The film always shows in the shadows, like in dark corners, image random state metaphors for a world full of violence, addictions, and male powers. He represents more than just a man. He's a symbol of how poor women bodies are used and discarded by the system. In a way, he is a living image of the patriarchy mixed with the urban poverty. Okay, let's go over this. The cameras in this movie, even so this is a silent film, it will say so much through these visuals. The camera angles and frame help us feel the character emotions. They using the long shots make the model look small and powerless in big city. The low angle on the gambler making seems they was like very strong and control everything. And then inside the home, the shop was still and quiet, showing how trapped the mother is. and there's very few close-up and very little editing. The slow paths reflect the quiet pain in mother's life, and the use of fade in and fade out to express the passing time and endurance. Emphasis on stillness match the mother's mood resistant visual metaphors. Narrow narrow outlets and doorways is equals to the social confinement. Bars, shadows, and windows, surveillance, and partial. Scholars K. Nylack say the director used both Hollywood and surveillance techniques like rhythmic editing and dramatic composing to tell the Chinese story. Wu Yonggang doesn't just copy Western style. He transforms themes into something personal and political. He's using the Hollywood paradigm and paradigm and solvent montage to define a unique Chinese cinematic language in 1930s Shanghai. Like the camera does not just tell us the story, it makes us part of the problems. By watching the mother suffer, but being unable to help, we become part of the system that judge her. This is style, it what it gives the god this emotional power. It does speak loudly, but it stay with us. So the film visuals language express more than dialogue. Its compositions make the viewer a complex observer. So the conclusions. Um, here the goddess is more than a melodrama. It's so conscious critical of gender, class, and moral in 1930s. The mother shows the pain of women who are judged for surviving. She is watched, controlled, and misunderstood, but she never gives up. Even in silence, her love for her child speaks louder than anything else. Characters like Gambler and the school principal show us two sides of the human beings. Like one is destroy and another one is protect. So all of these things, the film asked us to stop judging and to start understanding others. As the Harris argues, the goddess is not a fully in individualized character, but side of cultural contradictions, where the demands of Confucian motherhood and modern urban survival collide. So my final thought is the goddess remind us that the cause of survival under oppression is often invisibility, and yet it is in visibility there is resistance. It is my reference. Thank you, everyone.